so much for being here today. Again, my name is Dana Gould. I'm a data analyst for Equal Opportunity Schools. I am going to keep folks muted for the duration of this webinar, and then I'll open up for questions at the end, mostly just so that we don't get a lot of audio feedback. If you have questions during the presentation, please feel free to use that chat function. There's also a little raise your hand function as well. So feel free to use either of those to let me know that you're experiencing issues or that you need support in some way. We may also have some folks jumping in throughout the presentation. So I will just try to confirm with them that their audio is working if they do jump on. So please bear with me for that as well. So again, I am Dana. I am based in Seattle, Washington, and I'm very excited to be your data contact for Equal Opportunity Schools this year. I appreciate you all making the time in your busy schedules to be here today, and I think we're going to have a really good year together. So why are we here today? Equal Opportunity Schools is a data-driven organization. We could not do the work we do without help from you. A lot of you may have familiarity with Equal Opportunity Schools and our processes from last year. If you do have familiarity, you're very important. I hope that you'll be a connector and help support the new data leads to this project. There are some changes to communicate, and last year, not everyone was using the same processes. So it'll be really important for us to get all on the same page during this presentation for efficiency and just to make it as easy as possible for both ends. I want to recognize that you all have different positions and roles in your schools. If you are a dedicated data lead for your school, please make sure to let me know. That familiarity with the New York City database and the skills that you have pulling data are invaluable to us. And we really look forward to using those skills this year. So today, I hope to answer the few quick questions. Just what is Equal Opportunity Schools, or EOS? Who is involved in the New York City Equal Opportunity Schools partnership? When are data files due? I'll tell you how to submit data files. And then finally, we'll review our next steps and any questions that you have. Awesome. So what is EOS? Equal Opportunity Schools' mission is to ensure that all students have the opportunity to succeed in challenging high school courses. We focus on the tragedy of 20 feet. Each year, 2/3 of a million students are stuck literally just across the hall from advanced high school classes that they are ready to succeed in, classes which they will need in order to achieve their college completion goals. And that's a quote from our founder and CEO, Reed Saris. We are focused at EOS on helping schools identify students of color and low-income students who are ready to take AP-level courses. We do this by collecting lots of student-level data from your school and providing reports and tools that help identify and outreach to students. And that is where the data comes in. So again, I am Dana. I'm the data analyst in charge of collecting and processing all data for New York City. I'm actually a New York native myself from Syracuse, New York. And I oversee right now the processing of data for 150 schools all over the country, which keeps me pretty busy. I'm in my second year at EOS, and I'm typically in the office from about 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time, which translates to 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. I can be available outside those times, like for this webinar, but I just need a little bit of heads up so I can prepare and be online. Moving on to the New York City side of things, the New York City data comes from two places. We get as much data as possible from the district level. However, there is some data that they don't keep, and so we have to reach out to the school level, which is you, to get that data. Josh Smith is our contact at the district level. He is the manager of research and evaluation at New York City Department of Education. And our school level contacts are each of you, and we have one for every single school that we work with in the district. You might also know Jennifer Ward and Allison Wood, who are the Equal Opportunity Schools Partnership Directors working with New York City this year. They are also available for questions, but if it's data related, chances are that you'll want to reach out to me just for the more technical aspect that the data brings. As I mentioned before, this is our second year working with New York City. And this on the screen right now is a map of where the schools are that we were working with last year and how many underrepresented students were found in each borough. We're still looking forward to collecting some more updated data and watching last year's numbers grow, but I just wanted to give you a quick idea of what the data you provided last year made possible in each of the boroughs. All right, so now we'll get in to the data timeline. This is a broad overview of our work together this year. To start with, in October, we'll be expecting student photos from you. In December, we'll look to receive the student GPA and the Q1 grades. In February, we'll collect semester 1 grades. And finally, from April to June, we will be collecting course request data from each school. So now I'll go through a quick overview of each of those data files, and then we'll jump in to a quick tutorial on our portal. So for student photos, the student photos are used to populate our student insight cards. So each school will receive a card for every student in their district. So what we'll need is a single photo for each student, grades 9 through 12. The photos should be saved as JPEGs, and they should be submitted in a zipped folder. The file name for each photo should be the student ID for the student in the photo. And this is the only type of file that should be uploaded under the Files tab in the EOS portal, which I'll show you in just a second. We know that New York City requires consent forms in order to share photos with third-party vendors. And we just want to let you know that there is some flexibility there. Last year, most schools submitted photos, but submitting photos is up to your school. So you should have a conversation with your school leadership about whether you will submit photos. But we really hope that you will, because they add a face to the student insight cards, which is a really great asset. All right, the second file that we'll need this year is the student GPA. The student GPA also shows up on the student insight cards. You can see the orange oval on the card. And we can take GPA as well as weighted GPA. Now, the data file should be saved as a CSV, not an Excel file. And the required data fields are student ID, GPA, and weighted GPA. I didn't mention it in this slide, but it would be really helpful to also include a field with your school name, just so that we can differentiate, since we'll have a lot of different files coming through. Now, for all these CSV data files, we ask you to use the Uploads tab of the EOS portal, again, which I'll show you in just a second. And as well as populating the student insight cards, the GPA is used to generate outreach lists. So we'll compare the GPA of students who are not in AP to the students who are in AP, and be able to show if a student not in AP has a comparable GPA to the students who are performing really well in AP courses. All right, grades files. Now this file is going to be due to us twice. The quarter one grades will be due in December, and the semester one grades will be due in February. This data file should also be saved as a CSV rather than an Excel file. The required data fields, there are quite a few: student ID, school name, course ID, course name, course section, term, subterm, grade, and school year. And there should be one grade per line. And I just want to make sure to note that we have a lot of documentation and template files on our portal, which I'll show you in just a second. So we hope that you'll use those resources. It should describe all this information plus much more. And finally, the last data file that we'll collect from you is the course request data. We collect course requests for the 2018-19 school year. So after we've done our outreach, done all the hard work all year, students will start registering for AP and we'll start pulling in the course request data so that we can show the school the payoff of the work. As of right now, the district will be submitting some course request data, but we'll likely need at least one upload per school. The due date for this file is not set yet. It'll be based on when your school has the most course requests in, so we'll decide that sometime in the spring. This data file should also be saved as a CSV, and it's pretty simple. Just 4 required data fields, which are student ID, school name, course ID, and course name. All right, so now we're going to move in to using the EOS portal. Now, all data files that we collect from your school district, we expect to be submitted or shared through our secure online portal. And this is not only for efficiency, but also to help preserve privacy and our data sharing agreement. If you do not have a login yet for the portal, please let me know as soon as possible. You can let me know through the chat function, or you can also just send an email to this email address listed on the screen, data_support@eoschools.org. When you have a data file to upload, please follow the steps that we have on the screen right now. First, you'll log in. Second, you can be aware that there is the data documentation located on where this green box is. It says support. When you do upload files, there's 2 different places to do it. For data files, the CSV files, those will go under the Uploads tab, the purple box. And if you're uploading photos, that will go in a different location. That will be uploaded in the Files tab. So I'm going to take a quick minute to get away from the presentation and actually show you the portal. I can get out of my presentation. All right, here we go. So when you type in portal.eoschools.org, this is the first screen that you'll see. You'll plug in your information and sign in. And then you'll see the New York City Department of Education homepage. So you see your school listed here in this list. If you don't, make sure to let us know. Like I mentioned before, up in this top right corner is the support button. So you can click that to get to all of our data documentation. And then when you're ready to upload files, you come over here to the left side. So first I'll show you a CSV data file, and then we will look at how to upload photos. So when you're ready to upload a data file, you'll click the Uploads tab. Then you'll click this blue button, New Upload. Now, you'll select the file that you need off of your computer. So here I've uploaded just a dummy New York City GPA file. Next, you'll select the processor. Now, for uploading student data like GPA, we'll use the student demographics processor. Later in the year, you'll use the course grade processor and the course request processor. So for today, we'll do the student demographics. You can always leave a comment, and this could be something about the data, or maybe something that you think might be an issue with the data, whatever it may be. So I'm just going to say data. It would also be really helpful if you can list your high school's name in the comments here when you upload files. Again, just because we're going to be getting so many from so many different schools. Now, there's 3 steps to our data process. The first is validation, then analysis, and then persistence. And as a data lead, you can take the files through the first 2 stages of that process. So once you get the green arrow that the validation is complete, you'll click the blue button to initiate analysis, which will start a little bit more work on the portal end. So once the analysis is complete, this is the end of your work. This last persistence stage is for me to do. But you will start to see these data summaries, and I think these are really important to take a look at when you upload the data. This will summarize the information that you provided in the data. So in the file I just uploaded, there were 9 students. Unfortunately, all of them have grade unknown because we haven't gotten the information from the district yet, which would identify their grade level. And then you can also see a school level summary. So these will most likely be the same. When we get districts that upload multiple schools at once, the high school level data becomes a lot more valuable. But this is basically where you'll get to. We'd love to have all of you get to the second green arrow of analysis complete. And at this point, I'll be able to see the file from my end, but it's always nice to also have a quick email just to let me know that it's uploaded there. Okay, now we'll take a look at uploading photos. You can always get back to the New York City homepage by clicking the New York City name up in the top blue bar. When you're ready to upload photos, you can click the Files tab. And you'll see that there's 2 files that appear. One is data and one is student photos. If there's ever a point in time when I need to share some data back with you, or if we're having an issue with data, we can upload it to the data folder. But in this case, we're just going to look at student photos. So right now, there's no data available in this folder, but we will change that. So click the blue Upload File button. You'll select your zipped folder, and then you'll wait for the folder to upload. Now, the reason we ask for the photos to be zipped is so that it will upload more quickly for you. You won't have to sit here all day waiting for the upload. Sometimes you may need to refresh your page in order for the file to appear. Yeah, so in this case, I just need to refresh my folder. But once you see this file here, that means that I'll be able to see it as well. And again, just a quick email to me will make sure that it doesn't slip past. So that is how we use the EOS portal. Again, please let me know if you have any questions. This is a very brief overview, but I hope that will be enough to get you started. So back to the presentation now. Okay, so I just wanted to briefly go over our expectations for preparing a data file. So first, the student information system is available through your school. We expect that you will write a query or somehow get a report from the SIS to extract the data that we need. And then we expect that you will download that file and provide any manual editing that needs to happen. So maybe a field name is not the same in your database as it is in our documentation. We hope that you'll take a chance to edit that so that it'll match what we need. And then finally, once those edits have been made, upload the file to the EOS portal. And I say this just because our files do have a lot of requirements. We ask that you match it as exactly as possible so that to minimize the number of errors that pop up when you upload. And if you do hit an error, we do hope that you'll make an effort to fix it. I want to recognize that our error messages are not always the best. And that's a great time to reach out to me and ask if I can help identify what that error is to be fixed. Okay, we are almost done here. I just wanted to finish off with some tips and tricks that we have learned from past data leads and we hope will make your year a little bit easier. Now, first off, make great queries and save them. Now, you'll see already that we asked for grade files twice this year. We also anticipate working with New York City schools for many years to come. So if you are writing a query to pull data, make sure that you save that away for the next time that we ask for it. Second, make sure to use our data documentation support. So again, that's the support button in the top right corner of the portal screen. It's the green box if you're looking at the screen right now. We have a lot of information in there, everything from templates to how to upload photos to the portal. So I hope that you'll take a chance to look through that and just see all the awesome resources we have. 3, the student IDs must be consistent. So we want to make sure that the ID that you're submitting in your school files matches the ID that the district has submitted to us. If you're not sure which ID that is, please let me know and I can confirm with Josh. 4, make sure to include all students in your files. This is really important. We need all students grade 9 through 12 in your school. 5, New York City is really lucky because there are so many schools involved in this work. So I hope that you'll take a chance to talk to each other and ask for help along the way. And finally, please make sure to remember that student photos and data files are uploaded to 2 different places. So just to review one more time, data files get uploaded under the Uploads tab, and photos get uploaded under the Files tab. If you ever have a question, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. So just in conclusion, a few next steps. If you need a login to the EOS portal, please make sure to comment right now and or email. Now there's 2 different emails up here. One is my team's email, that's data_support@eoschools.org. But you can always email me at my personal work email as well, which is dana@eoschools.org. And I know that data spelling can get a little bit confusing, so I put them up here in big letters so that you can hopefully jot them down and make sure that we get them right. Second, our first deadline is October 6th, and that's when the student photos are due. So you can go on to the portal and review the documentation for student photos. There's a great 1-pager up there. And then you can upload a zip file with the JPEG photos as soon as you're ready. For help, you can always contact me at either of the 2 email addresses listed on this page. If for some reason I'm out of the office, the data support email will also ping my colleagues in the office so that somebody will be able to get back to you in a timely manner. So that is all I've got for you today. I hope that this wasn't too tough to sit through, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Again, we can use the chat function, or if you're able to click the raise your hand button, please let me know, and you can click the raise your hand button and I'll be able to unmute you that way as well. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to go ahead and just unmute everyone real quick. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble unmuting. Okay, there we go. Okay. So any final questions from anybody?
No.
Should be able to hear everybody's voices now.
No, Manhattan Center's fine.
Okay, great.
No
Okay, great. Did anybody on the phone need a login to the portal today?
No, I have it from Manhattan Center.
Okay, great.
Newtown High School needs it.
Okay, great. Thanks. All right. Well, again, you can feel free to email me. Newtown High School, if you wouldn't mind just sending me an email so I can get your email address, I'll make sure that you get that login right away.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm always available via email, and I appreciate you guys spending the time and hope you have an awesome day.
Okay, thank you very much, Dana.
Thanks for being on here. Yeah, sure thing.
Have a good morning.
Have a good morning.
Thank you.
Take care.